embarrassing ending, but fitting, fitting. You don't often get what you deserve in life; you get what you earn. And for too many times this season, we haven't had the, the right habits, the right toughness and moments to consistently earn wins. Uh, you talk about close games like you are what your record says you are. And in this first season, 14 to 16, and it was earned. But it is something that our guys who will be returning um, will need to feel every single bit of it, of the anguish, of the embarrassment, of the everything. Our staff, me, everyone, and we will, and we'll learn from it. You get what you earn in life.
Question to the players, please raise your hand. I think you're one right behind you. Directly behind you. Right there. There we go.
Question for the players defensively down the stretch. What was Fordham doing to get you guys off balance there in the last 5 minutes of regulation?
We just came unplugged a couple times, me importantly, and they executed. Came out with a dub.
Go ahead, sir.
Devon, looking to the offseason, you still have a COVID year left in your eligibility. Have you thought at all about whether that means coming back here or not when it looks to next season?
I haven't thought about it yet. I'll sit down with Coach English and we'll talk about it within the next couple of days.
Go ahead on the corner.
Josh, just how much did the foul trouble kind of take you out of sorts there in the second half?
It was tough. I got to be smarter sometimes on the defensive end, knowing to give up.
I thought it was great defense. I thought it was great defense. I thought it was perfect defense. I thought it was perfect defense he played on his fourth foul. He could not have played more perfect defense, and the referee said as such.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Josh, could you talk about your physicality that made today and matching up against Fordham's Chuba Ohnims?
Yeah, he's a good player. He's physical in the post. I'm not really sure what you asking about that. Could you specify?
Rephrase it.
Yeah, sure. Just what your game plan was in terms of just playing down low today, offensively.
It's the same thing as usual. Just stay low, be patient, take what the defense gives me.
For both of you guys, just with what Coach was saying a little bit earlier about how this season has unfolded, just how much frustration was there just in the number of tight games that you found yourself on the wrong end of, and just what you kind of take away from that big picture.
It's tough and it hurts, but we fought to the level of our preparation, so we're gonna bounce back next year. And we played in a lot of close games, and we just came up short. So like I said, it's just a little thing to get over that hump.
Go ahead.
Daniel Frank from A10 Talk. For either Devon or Josh, you played Fordham twice this season, and both times couldn't get to 50 points. What in particular about how Fordham defended you all presented specific challenges for you all?
They muck up the paint. They play an interesting zone kind of defense. So they take away a paint possession, so they can make it tough like that.
Okay, final question for the players. Gentlemen, right here in the front row. Well, you wait for the microphone, please. There you go.
You I know is obviously not the ending that you wanted for your season, but you being the first player to make the A10 first team all conference. I mean, just what does that mean to you? And despite not having the Mr. Team, what do you kind of take from that this season?
Doesn't really mean anything to me. We lost in the second day of the tournament, so we're gonna bounce back next year.
Gentlemen, we'll let you guys go back to the locker room. Thank you very much for your time here. And now we'll take additional questions for head coach, please. Over here on the side. Name and affiliation again, please, if you will.
Tim Patrick Stevens with the Washington Post. What do you feel like are those lessons that you were kind of alluding to earlier that you're going to have to implement in your program heading into your team?
Yeah, a lot. It's you go all the way back to day one and just doing a better job. We're going to do a better job implementing and demanding and holding our standard of toughness, of defense, of rebounding, of ball security, a better job, a much better job, and continue. I told you guys, every single lapse, it falls back on me. Like, I am not pushing this on these kids. It's not on them. It's on me to hold them accountable, to not be unconfident, shooting situations, to be solid and sure and playing off of 2 feet on drives, to play defense and not go for shot fakes, to box out, to contest shots, to close out with high hands. Everything rises and falls on leadership. And we will be better. They're going to, feel every single emotion that they feel right now, and we'll be better.
So go ahead.
Ron Bailey, Rivals.com. I thought Polite, absent those 2 missed layups late in the second half, played pretty well during that period. Was that what you've been expecting from him all year, to be able to get into the lane and give you some scoreability?
No, he was good. He was good. He plays with, beyond his ability, and if he's injured, if he's healthy, we'll keep getting him back to full health. I just like his spirit. I like his moxie. When he's on the court, he wants to do the right thing. I can see it and trust it in his eyes, and appreciate that about him.
Go ahead, sir.
Joe Szymanski by George. Coach, you already said something about, those quick third and fourth fouls on Josh in the second half there. How much do you think those kind of questionable calls?
Huge impact on the game. Ronnie Polite had a wide open layup with 7 seconds, with up 7. Josh Aduro boxed the kid out in a very physical game. I think Fordham may foul the most in our league. Josh, in a very physical game. Physical games are okay. That's fine. However the conditions are, that's how we like it. Ronnie had a layup. A very physical bang-bang play was called for his 3rd foul. Josh Aduro goes down. He's doing a tremendous job guarding Oham's only right-hand post offense. He shoots a right-handed shot through Josh's face, and he's called for his 4th foul. Inconsistent to the way the game was going. Huge plays.
In the back, sir. Yes, go ahead.
Dave Preston, WTOP Radio, Oham's Day this afternoon. What was the biggest challenge in trying to?
No challenge. He said 20 points on 20 shots. There was no challenge.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Over here.
Coach Daniel Frank from A10 Talk. You all had the last 2 games of the season today and against UMass were 2 particularly close games, and to end the season, I believe you all lost 9 of the last 12. As a young coach and a young coaching staff, what do you feel is the biggest lesson that you've taken from that 12-game stretch to end the season?
I don't think we have a young coaching staff. There's a lot of things to be taken from it. Each game is different. Maybe there's some trends we'll see and pick out as we as we do diagnostics on our season and the ending. A lot of thoughts running through my brain right now. If I would say of those last 12 games, our focus to get better at was our closeouts, our help defense, and as of late, our rebound. And we have a quiet team. Great kids, like phenomenal kids. If your daughter was dating them, you'd be thrilled. Great young men. Getting their emotion higher, their emotion, their energy higher. Those are some things we focused on down the stretch. I don't know a single particular theme of the last 12 right now, as you asked.
We'll take a couple more. Go ahead, sir.
Marcus Washington from MTC Media. Ticket was 0 for 7 from the field. I know he grabbed 10 rebounds. What was the crux of his struggle?
I thought he got some good looks. I just make them. They're physical. You have to go and accept that physicality and drop through it. I thought our guys too often were trying to create fouls. That's not how you play. Just from a shot quality standpoint, I liked a lot of his attempts.
And you mentioned the help side. There was a stretch in the second half where it just seemed like they got to the front of the rim. What were the issues? Was the communications?
Not much help with balls in the middle of the floor. We just failed to execute how we wanted to guard that stack Spain would play. Didn't get it done on how we should have been guarded. And they did a better job. They disguised it better than they had in the past. They did a good job.
Okay, over here. Yes, sir.
You just mentioned in a recent question about emotion in your players. Is that something you might try and potentially look for in the transfer portal this offseason? Is there someone who is that loud voice, who does have that emotion and shows it on all occasions on the court?
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens as far as attrition goes and as far as player acquisition goes. As of today, it's our job to build it in the guys that we do have. And as things change in our roster over the next few days and weeks, that is it's something that we value in recruiting is leadership and moxie and toughness and edge.
Here, and then I'm gonna break
Hey,
down
Coach,
everyone.
Pat, Jake Ron, WDB on TV. First year of coaching, head coaching. What's the biggest lesson that you could take away from this?
There are a lot of lessons, a ton. I mean, they've been, trying to improve in certain areas throughout the season and preparation and in-game coaching. It's been great. You can't ever, you got to go through it, and I think I said to someone the other day, it changes per team, right? I think, Jim Boeheim or Coach K or Leonard Hamilton are still learning within their seasons with their teams. I had kind of personal some things as far as when to call a timeout, when to rally our guys, how I'm going to manage my foul trouble participation. I try not to overreact to foul trouble too much. And when it's a lot of feel things, and it's been a great. I've learned a ton. And I'm really just excited about where our program's going. Frustrating season, incredibly frustrating. But of all my frustrated nights of watching film, I always have a chuckle of encouragement because know where we're going to be with what we have and what we're going to continue to bring in.
Last question. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm Tyler Byerman, this is Sports Washington. Along the same vein, obviously the season didn't end the way that you guys would have preferred, some ups and downs throughout the year, but as a whole, how would you kind of evaluate this first season with this program?
Ups and downs. When you talk these possession games, it's 9 or 10, whatever we've lost games by 1 possession or 2 possessions. It's little things that could change the outcome of those games, but that's an excuse. At the end of the day, you are what your record says you are, and we lost those games. The other team did things to win those games, and some very unfortunate things like layups, free throws, but we just have to be better. We have to continue. Bad calls from officials. We have to be better to widen that margin of error so that we can win in spite of. We're going to win in spite of. That's what the best teams do, and we will.
Thank you
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.